up, guys? It's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Today we're going to be doing the match preview for Barcelona versus Villarreal in La Liga, a match that will define Barcelona's form for the rest of the matches before the World Cup. We have a big run of games now at home, and this is a must win for Barcelona, for morale, for confidence, and also to keep up with Real Madrid at the top of La Liga. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below. Let's try to get to 200 likes in this video. Be very much appreciated. And also, if you're new, make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Kickoff time for this match will be taking place at 9 p.m. local time, so regular kickoff time in La Liga on a Thursday as well. Get used to that. And this match will be taking place at the Camp Nou, where we do have a big run of games at home. But also before the match, there will be the official presentation of the winners of the Ballon d'Or ceremony. Busquets, Gavi, and Lewandowski will present their awards to the Spotify Camp Nou a few minutes before the match, and the referee for this match has also been confirmed as well. On the pitch it will be Carlos Grande, and on the VR it will be Jaime Leter. Let's start off by taking a look at the league table. Barcelona currently sit in second place in La Liga on 22 points. After playing 9 matches, we do have 7 wins, 1 draw, 1 losses. If you look at our last 5 games in the league, 4 wins and 1 draw. Of course, top table Real Madrid is down 25 points, 3 points ahead of us, because of course over the weekend they did beat us in the Clasico. But also keep in mind the people behind us. Atletico Madrid 2 points off of us, but have played a game more. I'll touch on that again. Betis 19 points, 3 points behind us. I believe Real Sociedad as well also have 19 points. So we have teams breathing down our neck, but also we want to chase Real Madrid as well. Now, if you look at the top teams that will be facing this midweek in La Liga, yesterday, Rayo Vallecano and Atletico Madrid did play. By the way, I should be switched around. It was at the Wanda Metropolitano. I did watch this match, and it ended 1-1. Falcao with a 90th minute penalty gave Barcelona the upper hand, and Atletico Madrid dropped points. This can be a huge advantage for Barcelona, and also Betis will be traveling to Cadiz, and Real Madrid will be traveling to Elche. Both matches taking place today. So by Thursday, we'll know what the table will look like. If Betis drop point, somehow Real Madrid drop points as well. So now the pressure will be on Barcelona. Look, we've got team behind us, very, very close to us. One slip up, we drop points in any way, shape, or form, they could overtake us. We could end up in 4th place, 3rd place, whatever the case may be. But also Real Madrid could extend their lead as well. We have big games coming up, and this one is a must win to make that gap from 2nd to 3rd bigger, but also to make this gap from 1st to 2nd closer. And if you take a look at our opponents in Villarreal and where they're currently standing in the league table, they are currently sat in 7th place in La Liga on 15 points. After playing 9 matches, they do have 4 wins, 3 draws, and 2 losses. But if you look at the last 5 games in the league, 2 losses, 2 draws, and 1 win. So they are 7 points behind us, but still very, very close, and they are competing for those European spots. Let's now take a look at our opponents in Villarreal. Like I just mentioned, so far in the league, they are competing for those European spots. Not the best start for them, but not the worst start, but still one of the top teams in La Liga without a shadow of a doubt. And the last time we played them was at the Camp Nou, and it was the final game of last season, and we lost 2-0. Of course, at this point, we already guaranteed top 4. We were like, you know what? The season was crap. Who cares? We went out there and performed absolutely shite on the final day of the season. As you see the lineups on the screen, no Dani Alves anymore, of course. No Lenglet, no Adama, no Aubameyang. So the team right now is looking very, very different. But of course, same manager, basically same personnel as well. And it hopefully will not be the same tactics. So again, Barcelona this match, very, very poor, and left the fans with their heads down at the Camp Nou on the final day of last season. Now, if you take a look at Villarreal's last 5 matches in all competition, and their last match they beat Osasuna 2-0. They beat Austria 1-0 in the Europa League, and also 5-0 as well in that doubleheader. But in the league, they lost 1-0 to Real Sociedad and drew 0-0 with Cadiz. So I want to take a look firstly at their last 3 matches in all competition. Firstly, that 1-0 loss to Sociedad at the Anoeta. Now, these are 2 teams very evenly matched. Of course, both can be for those European spots, and in the end, Villarreal crumbled in one of their first big games of the season. They played the 4-4-2, of course, as we all know, against the bigger teams like Real Madrid, Atletico. They will play a low block counterattack, but against a team like Real Sociedad, they want to go toe-to-toe, and in the end, they just weren't good enough. Their goalkeeper really did have a good night. He said a lot of chances, but again, Arawata with the team, it does give them that extra boost, and Real Sociedad on the night did outplay Villarreal. Now, their next match was a 1-0 win against Europa Conference League opposition, Austria Wine. I don't know how you pronounce this name. Anyways, they're away from home. It was difficult, of course, different atmosphere. Pepe Reina had a great game for them. Of course, he's now their backup goalkeeper. Defense had a good game. This is a match where Villarreal were under pressure a bit. They were getting outplayed a bit, but they got that one goal that they needed, and then they kind of just played out the match essentially. I think the goal came later on in the second half, but they did suffer some big injuries in this match to Chukwueze and also to Coquelin, which we'll talk about later on in the video. But overall, not really a comfortable win for Villarreal, but an important win for them in the Conference League. And their last match in all competition did take place on Monday against Osasuna. So Villarreal are coming into this match traveling away from home with only 48 hours of rest. Hopefully, that can be an advantage for Barcelona. But in this match, smooth sailing for them. They're at home. Also, another really, the best competition. 2-0, and it was Danjuma getting a brace. I think he's come back from a long-term injury, and now he's firing on all fronts. Now, on the screen right now is a lineup that I believe that Unai Emery will select for this match. Keep in mind, Villarreal do have some players coming back from injury, but of course, you want to play with a fresh team, especially at the Spotify Camp Nou. I think go with Rulli in goal, Mandy at right back, Albiol Baltores at center back, with Pedraza at left back. Midfield 4, of course, in the center will be Parejo and Trigueros. On the right, Yeremy Pino. On the left, Buena. And up top, he will have Jackson and Danjuma. But I have to highlight Villarreal's squad depth, because despite this being their starting lineup not looking good on paper, they do have options off the bench and maybe some players who won't be fully fit for this match. First off, Jorge Cuenca, former Barcelona player. He want to come back, hopefully make some revenge. Alberto Moreno is an option at left back, of course, very decent player, played for Liverpool. You then have Kiko Femini, who they did sign from Watford, I believe, this summer. He's doing well. Mojica, who of course was linked with Barcelona for 3 weeks in the summer, then in the end, Villarreal paid his release clause. You have Capoue and Coquelin, two very strong midfielders, but they are injury doubt for this match, alongside probably their best midfielder after Parejo, Lo Celso, who is injury doubt. But I have to highlight their two attackers off the bench, or they could be starting. Firstly, Chukwueze. This man turns into prime Ronaldinho every time he faces us. I think there is a good chance that Unai Emery could pick him, but I think Buena, their left mid, did do well in the last match. I think he was man of the match. And Yeremy, of course, one of their better wingers. I think he will stick with what's best right now. I think Chukwueze is coming back from a very small injury, but again, off the bench, Chukwueze is a threat. I cannot stress that enough. And finally, their new signing this summer, Jose Luis Morales. Of course, formerly Levante striker who had been relegated. He did leave them, of course, after they got relegated. This man turns into prime Raul, prime Fernando Torres every time he plays us. Again, I'd be very worried about Villarreal squad depth. I think on paper, they can put out a good team, but there are some niggling injuries, rotation. They just, of course, played on Monday 40 hours ago, which you want to take into consideration. But overall, Villarreal do have a very strong lineup, and I would expect something very similar to this lineup tomorrow. So overall, final thoughts on Villarreal. They're, of course, one of the better teams in the league, and you could say Europe as well. They did get the Champions League final last season, just into Liverpool, and they're very well managed by their manager, Unai Emery. Now, Unai Emery is a world manager. He's absolutely fantastic, but against Barcelona, he does do very poorly. Of course, beat him 6-1 with PSG, and his only win, I think, at the Camp Nou was last season on the final day. Of course, Barcelona, crap season. They're just walking away with their heads down. They got Champions League, thank God. They're just winning out there just to play the last match. I wouldn't really count that in my opinion, but again, Unai Emery against Barcelona, very poor, but still is a top quality manager. Players to look out for, it's the whole damn team, but I have to highlight, like I already mentioned, Chukwueze, Morales. They have a very strong midfield. Of course, Danjuma right now, their striker, is on fire. Yeremy Pino, one of the brighter talents in Spain. They have a very strong back line. Pau Torres, Albiol, despite Albiol being 38, he can still put in the shift. Pedraza, again, who's been linked with Barcelona. Ruli's doing well for them in goal. They have a very, very good and strong team filled with youngsters and veterans. And when they play against top teams, again, they do go with the low block 4-4-2 counterattack, and they are deadly on that counterattack. Chukwueze, Pino, Buena, Danjuma with pace is going to be disgusting. So what Barcelona have to do really in this match is focus on preventing counterattacks, which does mean controlling that midfield, winning balls back, have high intensity, high pressure, and also, of course, do not misplace passes in that midfield, because when they do, flick on a switch, they'll start running at you, and they will be a goal threat. Let's now take a look at the squad list. The squad list for this match has been released and confirmed, and it is as follows: Ter Stegen, Bellerin, Pique, Pique, Busquets, Dembele, Pedri, Lewandowski, Ansu Ferran, Alonso, Alba, Kessie, Roberto De Jong, Raphinha, Kounde, Garcia, Peña, Balde, Gavi, Pablo Torre, and Arnau Tenes. As you all know, pretty obvious, just the one change, and that is that Hector Bellerin has received the medical green light and is fit and ready for this match. Although he won't start, let's hope he comes off the bench, of course, but another great addition from the injury list into the main squad, and other than that, no other changes. Time now to get into Xavi's press conference reactions. Of course, was done this morning. He was asked a lot of questions by the media ahead of the big match against Villarreal, where the team and also the coaching staff as well will be under huge pressure. Let's get and see what he had to say during the press conference. He could say firstly asked, of course, about Villarreal, saying we expect a difficult opponent. We admire them. They can defend with several players and they can press. Emery is a great coach and they only conceded 3 goals and are a physical team as well. Then asked about the criticism towards Sergio Busquets, said that when we lose, everyone gets criticized. Busquets is still an important player for us. He's the captain. He always helps us. It's the same for Busquets and all the captains as well. Eric Garcia is extraordinary. A center defender in Barcelona can make mistakes, but he is very good. I like him a lot in terms of football. I think that good planning has been done, that we have strengthened ourselves well, but there is a winter market and the club must think about continuing to strengthen the squad. So Xavi there calling for the Barcelona board to make some moves in the winter market. Everyone makes mistakes. We need to improve some tactical aspects. We need to improve some offensive and some defensive positioning as well. I want to think the referees are honest and whistle what they think. So again, asked about the controversial decisions, of course, in the Clasico and with Barcelona over the past week as well. Then he was asked about how he's feeling right now. He said, look, I'm a calm person. I want things to go well. What happened in the Champions League and the Bernabeu hurts me, but I will work more if necessary until the situation changed. Now, of course, Xavi was supposed to go to the Ballon d'Or ceremony on Monday, but pulled out because he wanted to focus on the team. We have strengthened ourselves very well, but we did have, of course, some notable injuries, but the team is very good. And he did say tomorrow that there will be changes from the lineup. He said to freshen up the team a bit, but let's be honest, some players need dropping. Of course, if there are no titles, my stage will probably end early as the manager. It's Barcelona and we are here to win. The objective is to win titles this season. I insist on it. He was asked about he was worried about his job, saying that, look, if I don't win titles, I'm going to get sacked. That's the reality. And we had a clear objective, of course, at the beginning of the season, and that is to win titles, more specifically La Liga. He was then asked about his faith in the Barcelona fan base and how they feel about him as well. He said that, look, I would understand if they stopped trusting me. People support me on the street. This is football. Defeat can't stop us and you have to be positive. Honestly, I'm not deceiving you. I'm always a positive person. Then asked about the contract renewal of Sergio Busquets, saying that, look, would you consider offering a renewal contract? Is he going to leave? He said that, look, Busquets' contract is expiring, yes, but we are still in October. He will decide, of course, his future, and Busi does not have a clear replacement in the team. Of course, Milan Pjanic and Nico wanted to leave and ended up leaving. At the Bernabeu, Madrid defended very well and it was difficult for us. We are not as comfortable as the other days because Madrid played very well. Sometimes we focus a lot on criticizing our team without thinking that there's an opponent who is also playing well. And lastly, Xavi concluded off by congratulating the 3 winners at the Ballon d'Or ceremony on Monday. So the awards in Paris to Gavi, Lewandowski, and Putellas showed that Barcelona is there and that we're alive. I congratulate them and hopefully their awards become collective, of course, team trophies. And that concluded Xavi's press conference reaction ahead of the match against Villarreal tomorrow. Let's now get into the lineup predictions. We're starting with the manager, of course, Xavi Hernandez. I'm gonna try my best with his lineup. It will be, of course, very difficult to predict, but also fairly easy because again, we are expecting some changes from Xavi after the 2 poor performances against Inter and also Real Madrid. I think Xavi will go with this lineup on the screen right now. I think he'll go Ter Stegen in goal, a back four for Roberto, Kounde, Eric Garcia, Jordi Alba, midfield 3 of De Jong, Gavi, and Pedri, and a front 3 of Ousmane Dembele, Lewandowski, and Ansu Fati. There's been many players who've been playing poorly over the past week, I would say, and Xavi needs to start dropping players. Now, in terms of rumors, we're hearing that Busquets will be dropped, and we're hearing that somehow Jordi Alba is going to be a starter. So I think he will stick with Roberto at right back just because, again, no clear option to come in there. Of course, you could say Bellerin just coming back from injury, though. He ain't going to risk it. You could have put Kounde at right back and Alonso at center back. Don't think Xavi will do that. But at left back, I do think he'll pick Jordi Alba because, again, he did highlight After the Clasico, all the subs came in, did exceptionally well. But I don't think he'll start Kessie. I think he will start Jordi Alba. And then midfield, again, we're looking like Busquets is going to get dropped. His best replacement right now is Frenkie de Jong. 2 ahead of him will be Gavi and Pedri. The midfield looks absolutely crowded without Gavi at the moment. I think he will start alongside Pedri as well. In the front 3, now Xavi could go with, again, Lewandowski, Dembele, and Raphinha. But they played so many minutes, and also they've been crap. Dembele and Raphinha, in my opinion, have not played well over the past few games as a whole. I think one of them needs to be dropped, and I think Ansu Fati will come in. He had a great performance in the Clasico, and I think Xavi must start him, and if he doesn't, he will get criticized like no tomorrow. And I also believe our winger positions is more balanced with Ansu Fati and Dembele. I think there should only be one of Dembele and Raphinha, and then one of Varane and Ansu. That way you have the one creative winger, the one defensive midfielder, so you have 2 different options on the wing, because I think Dembele and Raphinha very similar. Ansu Fati and Varane have very similar traits as well. But overall, this is not the thing that Xavi Hernandez will select for this match. But of course, let me know your predictions for Xavi's lineup down in the comments below. Now I'm going to show you guys my lineup, what I would do if I was a Barcelona coach, and I have made a few changes from Xavi's lineup. Firstly, hashtag no captains in my lineup. I don't give a damn. All staying away from my team. So I have put Kounde at right back in order to bring in Alonso at left back. What you could do is put Alonso left back, Balde right back, and have Kounde at center back. That is an option, but I want Balde to grow in that left back position. Also, Kounde most likely will be playing at right back at some point this season, so I want to get some freshness in there. And also, Alonso most likely will be playing center back a lot this season, so I want to get freshness in there as well. I will drop Garcia if there is a replacement, but there isn't. Oh, by the way, Ter Stegen would be my captain as well, because he's the most experienced player in this team. Midfield 3, my thing was De Jong, Kessie, plus someone else. I think Kessie deserves a chance in the team. Every other midfielder has not been great over the past week, although Gavi has been important and Pedri has been influential. But I think Kessie at the moment deserves a run in this match. And also, playing up against a 4-4-2 like Villarreal, low block counterattack, you want someone there with physicality who'll be up and down that pitch. Although Gavi can do that, there's no denying that Kessie is stronger than Gavi, so I would have him there. De Jong, of course, coming in for Busquets, and I would keep Pedri in there. But again, just like Lewandowski, I would not play them for the majority of this match against Lewandowski and Pedri. Very, very tired. They're playing every single game at the moment. They need rotation, but at the moment, there's no clear replacement for them in the team. So for Lewandowski and Pedri, my goal would not be playing past an hour, past 70 minutes, but of course, if needs be, I would keep them in. And finally, I'm training both wingers. I'm starting Varane and Ansu over Dembele and Raphinha. Them two need a reality check. They've been poor over the past week, not making the right passes, not creating chances, not doing anything. Although I do believe that you should have Dembele, Raphinha, one of them, then one of Ansu and Varane. When you make the Gala 11, I think right now both need to be dropped. Think about their performances, analyze them. I think, you know what, Varane and Ansu do deserve a chance. Ansu off the bench has been great over the past few games. Of course, Varane scored in the Clasico, so I would give them that opportunity. And that's my lineup for this match. But of course, let me know in the comments below, would you rather pick my lineup or Xavi's lineup? Time now for my score prediction. What do I believe the result will be in this match? I'm very, very nervous because Barcelona have to win 3 points, nothing less. A draw or a loss would kill our momentum from now until the World Cup. This is the turning point for Barcelona to get good wins and good results from now to the World Cup. Anything that's drop points, we're screwed. And I do believe that will happen if any of the captains start. If we see more than 2 captains, like maybe Roberto and Jordi Alba, like I did predict for Xavi, I would be worried. But if Xavi starts with no captains whatsoever, I believe we can go out there and get the result. And I will go Barcelona win this match by 2-0. Again, more so because we have to win. I do expect the clean sheet in this match as well. Although, if Villarreal starts some certain players like Chukwueze, Morales, then we're looking on toast. I am confident that Barcelona will win, but I think that clean sheet is not as guaranteed as it used to be. But again, if Xavi goes out with the right personnel, right game plan, I will be confident in the win. And I am going with Barcelona to win this match by 2-0. But of course, let me know your score predictions down in the comments below. So that was my match preview for Barcelona versus Villarreal in La Liga. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, and of course, leave me your thoughts down below in the comments on everything we discussed. But the main thing I want to firstly, of course, is your score prediction, and secondly, on those lineups. Firstly, would you either pick my lineup or Xavi's lineup? What do you think Xavi would go with? What would you go if you were the manager? Leave me all your thoughts down below, and of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below as well if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys some more for the live watch along. Set the reminder on the screen and come and join me and watch the game with me. Follow after the match by my match reviews. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Huge game ahead. Nothing but the 3 points. Take care and forza Barca.
Peace.